Hello, guys. I'm Luke. So, I thought I would start a podcast series just to talk about how I'm doing. Because I do want to talk, but I kind of didn't like posting videos of myself with the camera. Because I felt like it would make me too public, and I sort of want to be more obscure. Or, like, I don't know. I don't really want to be public. I just want to be, like, just a nobody, basically. I just want to be a nobody. Because that's really how I see myself. I just see myself as a nobody. So I thought I would make like a podcast just so I have a place to vent about my thoughts and get my thoughts out into the open. Plus, I sort of speak differently. If I have a camera pointed at me, I felt like I have to like speak differently, and I don't just speak like myself. Like if I'm not looking at a camera, I sort of speak differently. I'm just recording this with Audacity, so I'm just speaking differently. So I thought it would be a good idea to make a podcast. It might be a good coping skill because then I could sort of vent about my thoughts and it'll be sort of like therapy, I guess. I mean, I'm actually going to get a therapist pretty soon. I think. Well, maybe not very soon, but my psychiatrist is talking about getting me a therapist, and I did post a video about the controversy. I'm not certain people like that video, but I just wanted to, I just thought I should talk about it. I wasn't, or I just thought I should, I don't even know what words to use. I just thought I would talk about what I was thinking and how I felt like the whole situation was misconceived by people and people didn't really understand what my perspective was. I'm not even certain I did a very good job explaining my perspective. Um, because I'm the only one who knows what really happened. I mean, I don't think I don't know. I didn't really explain it very well. I mean, I don't know because I wasn't really certain what to talk about in that video because I was stating like I had no recollection of things and I couldn't remember things. But I guess since I'm talking about it, I guess I won't. I suppose I won't delete the video because even if people don't like it, it's because I just felt like I might want to talk about it on my public channel because people have said terrible things to me. They say terrible things to me. I mean, like I've done everything in my power to improve myself because basically, well, this is like if I had to describe what I experienced something called floating. So instead of the word living, since I'm a space alien, I describe myself as floating. So I'm stating I'm on the float. I'm on the float, so I'm floating. So in my experience, from my perspective, nothing like literally happened. Like from my perspective, I was just floating. That's all I was doing, and I didn't really do anything. From my perspective, I was just floating. Also, I never dated the person that people are alleging who I dated. So I don't know. I just thought I would talk about this, but I don't really want to talk about this on the podcast because it makes me feel terrible that people say these things about me, and they don't give me a voice to speak about. 40 people blocked me. Like 40 people blocked me because I was recall like trying to add friends on Discord, and I sent out like 30, at least like maybe like 30 friend requests. Not a single person accepted the friend request, so I don't know if I was blocked or they just didn't want to be my friend. But these are people who I suppose were never on my side because, I had known these people since I was in high school. So, I considered those people my friends, but maybe I was wrong. Since they stabbed me in the back, they're not my friends anymore, if they was ever my friends to begin with. But they sort of stabbed me in the back over nothing. I mean, I didn't do anything, so I don't understand why they stabbed me in the back. Because, like I said, from my perspective, I was just floating, and that's all that really happened. I was just floating. And then I did everything to improve myself since I lost my mind, I had done everything in my power to improve myself, especially, just like recovering for a very long time. And it was very difficult to recover since I lost my mind. And that was December 13th, 2023 is when I just started to recover. And that's when I snapped out of the delusions. But I still hadn't figured it all out yet. It took a lot of work to figure myself out and to improve myself. And despite the fact I improved myself and I controlled my delusions and everything, people still don't fuck with me. People still tell me to kill myself. It's like, is that really necessary that people have to tell me to kill myself when they don't even understand the situation at all? You know what I mean? People tell me to kill myself. People block my account if I post in a Twitch chat. And just to say hello to my old friends, they block me and they ban me from the thing. And this, they just like, dude. And I don't even know. It's just a whole complete misconception about the whole situation that I'm not certain anybody understands except myself. So I don't know. That's what I thought I would talk. I guess this is what I'm going to talk about on this podcast. But on the next podcast, I would not like to talk about it. I would like to talk about what I'm doing with my time. So basically, what I'm doing with my time is I'm just like, well, today I went to the store, and something I think in this world is that you should sort of be like a ghost. Part of the reason you should be a ghost is because you can't trust anyone, but it is good to have friends. And I do think I have friends, but they're people who I don't speak to. But that's part of. I don't know if that's just my. It could just be like schizophrenic. But I think those people are my friends, so I see them as friends. But I did go to the store. I took 2 buses to get to the store. Then I went home. And I think there's a lot of things people don't know about me, and they just don't know who I really am. I mean, people seem to think regarding what I was just talking about, people seem to think I was a monster or something. People could seem to consider me to be a monster, but I find that very offensive because I do not consider myself to be a monster, and I'm not certain anything I'm saying on this podcast is disagreeable at all because I'm just stating I see myself as beautiful. I don't see myself as a monster. I see someone who unfortunately lost their mind in 2023, but then I did everything in my power to improve myself. It did take a very long time, but I've gotten to this point and I finally found happiness. And despite the fact I've found happiness, despite the fact I see myself as beautiful, despite the fact I know I'm not a monster, people still tell me to kill myself. People still block my account. People still stab me in the back, despite the fact I was also raped 18 times, despite the fact, it's just absurd, man. I was raped 18 times and people want me to go to prison so I can get raped again. I mean, do you really think I wouldn't wish for anyone who did anything to be raped at all. I wouldn't wish for someone to be raped. I might wish for someone to be killed. But I might not. I might wish for someone to be killed, but not for someone to be raped, man. That's just fucked up. Like, people are wishing for me to be raped. Like, I don't know. Well, no one actually said that, but that's just what I think. Because one person did say that I belong in prison. And I'm like, dude, I do not personally. Also, regarding the situation, since I'm the only one who knows what actually is going on, I don't really think people understand what's going on. Is that I do not think I belong in prison. I think that's I think that's just wrong. I mean, I've thought very critically about this for a very long time. I do not believe that I belong in prison. I do not believe that I'm a monster. I do not believe those things. I mean, basically, essentially what happened was I was just floating, and then over the course of time, I also gradually had become extremely delusional. Then by the end of it, I snapped out of it and came back to reality. So I mean, I don't really see how any of that is illegal to do what I said. Also, I wasn't able. I don't know. I wasn't making proper decisions. Also, I was very offended that people have said things like, well, I already talked about it. People say bad things about me that are just not true. Like stating things like, I mean, like I said, I only like adults. So I said you have to be 18 plus or it's not okay. I said you have to be 18 plus or I'm not even sexually attracted to you. And I'm not lying at all. I'm telling the goddamn truth, and I'm very offended by that. The amount of things people have said to me that have been very cruel. People have said so many cruel things to me online. It's insane. I mean, dude, this is why I don't like I don't know. I don't like being a public figure. But I also would like to just have a place to vent my thoughts. So that's why I decided to record this podcast. I would, I mean, just a place to talk about what it is that I'm thinking. Um, I mean, I've done a lot of work. I made a lot of beautiful music. If you look at my Bandcamp, I've made 12 albums, and you can listen to all 12 albums there. Then also, regarding the things I wrote 3 books, and the one sort of, I guess I'll call it an essay, or I don't want to call it an essay. I'll call it a document. Also the one document on Norism. So I felt like Norism was really a pivotal moment for me because I developed my own philosophy, and I do like the philosophy a lot, and I felt like the philosophy was very good, and I think it's probably the realest philosophy in the world. And I felt like it's not recognized by people because they don't know that I'm a space alien, so they probably aren't interested. But some people just look at it and they might just see it as some fictional nonsense, but they don't recognize that, for example, the quote at the beginning of the document that I also made a video about is like a decimation of philosophy, and it sort of destroyed philosophy, in my opinion. So I was able to destroy philosophy like this, and I mean, I'm the person who destroyed philosophy, but I get no credit for it. I mean, even if someone stole the idea, I would still be the person who destroyed philosophy, since I'm the one who, conceived of the concept that, destroyed philosophy. So, also, yeah, I think it's just good to have a podcast, to have a place to vent about my thoughts. I think a podcast is like the best thing in the world, to be honest. It's a lot better, because on a podcast I can sort of talk about anything without having to think about, like, I don't have to think about, like, what people think about how I look, or like what people, want to criticize me, because less people are going to look at it also. But it's just a place I can talk about, what's going on in my life. And I thought that a podcast would probably be, the best option for things that I want to make. Plus, I don't really think it feels good when people say things about me that hurt me. I mean, I think I've been hurt so much that it just got to a point where I just stopped thinking about it because, I mean, I was raped 18 times, for example. No one knows that I was raped 18 times. I've talked about it before, but, these people who are telling me to kill myself don't know that I was also raped 18 times, and that's kind of fucked up. I mean, I was raped I suppose at least 18 times. I didn't actually keep count of how many times I was raped, but I was raped 18 times by multiple people, and then people tell someone who's been raped 18 times to kill themselves without having that context is kind of fucked up, in my opinion. Someone who also never committed a crime, at least in my opinion, and if I was going to go to fucking, if if I don't understand why I would go to court since I never committed a crime. And this is what I guess I'm talking about the dark and depressing stuff on this video because I never committed a crime, dude. I don't think I belong in prison. I don't think I committed a crime. I think I think essentially what happened to me was that was two. You can word it with like a several sentences. Exactly what happened to me was that I was just floating. I'd become increasingly delusional until the date of December 13th, 2023. Since I snapped out of it, then I attempted to improve myself for the next 2 years, and by the end of those 2 years, I think I'd figured myself out for the most part. Um, so I just want to point out, like, I'm sort of like, I just feel like I have committed no crime and I don't belong in prison. So, because someone said, I don't even know, man. It's fucking depressing, man. It doesn't make me happy. I mean, I try my best to do my best, and I really try my best, and I just feel like also I'm just trying to survive, man. Like I gotta pay the bills and shit. I gotta pay the bills. I gotta survive. I don't, I'm also got to survive with a disability, so I don't have like any options like of any place else to live. You know, I also, I mean, this is not really related, but I do consider myself to be a thug. So I would consider myself to be a thug. The reason I think that I'm a thug, well, I did include it. There is a quote about this in my document on Norism that is included on my website and also in the description of this video, the V 2.0. And I just think I'm a thug. Like I'm involved in two gangs and four cliques. So I said there was two gangs and four cliques. So that's how I would describe it. There was two gangs and four cliques, and I felt like, I suppose since the way I talk, this could also be considered like an ASMR video. But I just, I had to talk about some things, man, because like this podcast is very important because I think I was able to sort of derelict everything that I think. I think that I committed no crime. I think that I don't deserve to be imprisoned. I think that like, I mean, nobody takes into account the fact that I was hurt. I mean, I was hurt really bad. I was hurt really bad, man. Like, I was hurt really bad in my life, and people don't know how bad I was hurt, man, and they just tell me to kill myself. One guy told me to jump into traffic, and that kind of hurt. That was so that kind of like I deleted the comment from my channel because I don't want that on my channel. But people just don't know who I am. Like when I was 16, I attempted to kill myself, and I was, let's say, put this like this: I was 16, I was a minor, and I attempted to kill myself by jumping into the highway. And this guy tells you to jump in, and like, dude, you can't say shit like that to me. You can't say these things to me that are just so fucked up beyond belief, man. It's telling me to kill myself, man, when I did nothing wrong and shit. That doesn't make sense to me. So you think I did something wrong? That's not my fucking problem, since I don't think I did something wrong. People don't really see it from my perspective, but I did describe I was just floating. Floating is a statement that describes my schizophrenia. I was just floating. Despite the fact I lost my mind increasingly over the course of time until the date of December 13th, 2023, I was still just floating. I never dated a minor. That is absurd. People are saying that I dated a minor. That I did not. And I find that very offensive that people say that because it's literally not true. I never dated a minor. You can't word it in any other way. I never did. So therefore I've committed no crime. This is what I think, at least. And maybe I would play this audio. Maybe I would play the entirety of this audio recording in court if this bitch wants to, press charges on me, because she turns 18 in like 3 weeks. If this bitch wants to press charges on me in 3 weeks, that's all right. But From my perspective, I've done nothing wrong and I don't deserve to be in prison. So yeah, this is a very dark and depressing podcast. I bet people in the comments of this video will tell me to kill myself. And you know what I say to those people? I say, I do not deserve to kill myself, man. That's my choice. I don't even know how to word this. Like, I don't deserve to people, if you think I should kill myself when I've done nothing wrong, that's not my fucking problem. Also, that sort of hurts my feelings too. Like, why are you telling me to kill myself? I'm such a beautiful person. I'm such a beautiful fucking person. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know who I am. Yet you tell me to kill myself. A beautiful person you tell to kill yourself. Who do you think is a fucking monster here? Not me, the person who tells someone like me, to kill themselves. That's fucking. I haven't even gotten this statement very often. People only told me to kill myself several times, but I mean, it's just like maybe it's something that people think. I don't even know what people think about me. I sort of had to accept that I cannot control what anybody thinks about me, man. I can't control what you think about me. I can't control what anybody on the planet Earth thinks about me. I can't control what anybody on the planet Earth does to me or does to anyone else or thinks about anyone else. I can only control what I think about myself. If you think I'm a scumbag, fuck you, since I'm not a scumbag. You know what I mean? If you think I'm a scumbag, that's not my problem. I can't control what you think. You think I'm a scumbag, but not everybody does, man. And the reason for that is that I'm not a scumbag. I'm a beautiful person. Absolutely beautiful. I'm one of the most beautiful people on the planet, in my opinion. I'm absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm the only person who was able to consciously, figure out all of these complicated things that I had thought about, and nobody knows what I had thought about. But I probably spent the past 6 months just thinking. But it got to the point that I haven't been thinking about literally anything at all, and I've been thinking absolutely nothing. But the reason for this is that I have nothing left to think about. So I'm thinking by speaking, but I'm not able to think by thinking unless I'm reading something, because I don't have anything else to think about at this point. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't know. I'm so fucking beautiful, it's insane. And you're telling someone who's absolutely beautiful to kill themselves. You don't know me. I cannot control what you think. If you think I should kill myself, that's outside of my control. And I think it's sort of wise to understand that you cannot control things that are outside of your control. So it's outside of my control if you think I should kill myself. If you think I'm a scumbag. You know, a lot of people seem to think that I'm a scumbag, but I don't deserve it, since I'm not a scumbag. Does that make sense? It's not very hard to understand. I'm just spitting fucking real facts at you. And if you have a problem with this, man, that's not my fucking problem.